so I'm here with Cynthia.
Hello.
And her question is, who would you say on average is most obese, men or women, and why?
If that's my opinion, I would have to go with women just because I believe that we have a higher percent body fat just in general, and our hormones may cause us to slow down as far as like digestive system and like breakdown of our like digestive system, I guess.
Okay, so you think it's more with our body fat. So
Yes.
that's usually within like, what, adolescence, you're thinking? Okay, all right.
So, just like Cynthia had stated, it is true. Women are more likely to become obese, and this is due to hormonal differences such as estrogen production in women. This typically happens during adolescence, and men have higher muscle mass, and that's why they don't accumulate as much fat as we do. But it's okay because this stored fat, which typically is in our hips and in our thighs, is what helps us during childbearing and pregnancy.
Okay, so I'm here with Justin, and his question is, why do you think women retain more fat than men?
Wait, am I answering?
Yes.
Well, their body composition is different, probably because women carry children and they need more fat to provide for the children.
Okay, so you think it's with childbearing and pregnancy?
I do, correct.
Okay.
So, as we know, women's bodies do contain and store more fat than men. And this reason is due to, like Justin said, pregnancy. So, women's bodies are naturally designed to support pregnancy. So, this is things such as keeping stored energy and breastfeeding the children, which requires more fats.
Okay, first of all, what's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Okay. Do you think what do you think are the main reason kids gain weight today or become obese?
I believe it's because there's less activity for the kids, and the kids have other alternatives instead of exercising. They have other alternatives.
Okay. And do you think it's harder to manage weight as a kid or as an adult?
I believe as a kid,
Why?
because of the intake of food is pretty much determined by your parents.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
Nicole.
Valiente. Okay. What do you think are the main reasons kids today gain weight or become obese?
I think a reason is because kids are given social media access too quickly. They're just on their tablets. Their kids don't run outside anymore. Rarely at school. They're also on the computer. It's just too much technology, and physical education is not encouraged as much as they used to do.
Okay. And do you think it's harder to manage weight as a kid or as an adult?
I think it's harder as a kid because kids lack self-discipline and they don't understand the importance of staying fit as much as adults. But adults also lack self-discipline too. So but it's just I think it's harder for a kid to do that unless a parent is on top of them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jane.
Hello, my name is Maurice and I'm going to talk a little bit more about childhood and adulthood in obesity. When we talk about obesity, we need to understand that childhood and adulthood are very different. In childhood, most kids become overweight because the environment they grew up in. Children don't use what groceries their parents buy or how often they go out to eat fast foods. And that's why many kids grew up drinking a lot of sugary drinks, eating snacks, processed food, and spending a lot of time on a screen instead of playing outside. These type of behaviors are early and they follow them as they grow older. When someone becomes adult, the reasons change. Adults have more control over their choices, but they also have to deal with stress, work, school, and busy schedules. Because of this, many people don't have time to cook, so they pick quick and unhealthy meals. If someone grew up with poor eating habits, it is even harder to change those habits later in life. Trust me. So when we compare these two, childhood is when the habits are created and adulthood is when the habits continue or change. In my opinion, losing weight or staying healthy is harder as an adult, but it is strongly connected to what happened in childhood. That's why early prevention is so important. Helping kids build healthy habits makes a big difference in the future.
At what age does obesity start causing serious health problems for most people?
When people are on the teenage, on the 20s, but specifically after puberty, maybe 15, 16, 17 years old, it can start showing up there.
I think it's when they are in their 40s or 50s, if they're very fat and obese. That's where they start seeing serious health problems like weird results in their blood work or heart problems or respiratory problems. That's when they start seeing it.
Obesity can start affecting health at any age, but serious and dangerous complications become especially common in older adulthood, typically around age 60 and above. During this stage, obesity greatly increases the risk for conditions like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, mobility issues, and faster cognitive decline. Older adults can also develop sarcopenic obesity, which is a combination of excess fat and muscle loss. This makes obesity much more harmful in late adulthood, when it has the greatest impact on quality of life and long-term health.
At what age do you think people in the United States are at the highest risk of becoming obese?
I think the risk of becoming obese starts when the infants on the very young age, because it all depends on the parents. If the parents they eat candy or a lot of chocolate, it all comes from an early education on the parents, in my opinion.
I think that people that are at the highest risk of becoming obese are around 18 to 25 years old, when they leave the house and they go to college and then they eat whatever comes in front of them.
According to current research, the age group with highest risk of becoming obese in the United States is adults between 40 and 59 years old. While obesity can appear at any age, studies show that this middle age stage has the greatest prevalence. During these years, many adults experience a slowdown in metabolism, decreases in muscle mass, higher stress levels, and limited time for physical activity. This is all due to work and family responsibilities. All of these factors combined makes ages 40 to 59 the period where the risk of obesity is the highest.
Hi guys, we're out here in Panther World at the main campus. Hi, my name is Layla Yard.
Hi, my name is Yolanda, and I'm also here a student at FIU. Third year.
Do you think that some cultures normalize and celebrate, in fact endorse obesity?
Yes.
Yeah?
And it's not just one culture, but multiple cultures. Probably not in Europe or Eastern Asia. Maybe where like thicker bodies are normalized. That's where they endorse more obesity.
Okay, thank you. Okay guys, so like Yolanda said in the last clip, there are some cultures and communities that glorify or endorse or more so have those situations, or bigger boned body types and structure. Looking at it from a socioeconomic status, we find that the people who are in lower socioeconomic status tend to have or lean into these sectors of obesity. So like my former colleague said in the video, when you are working 2 to 3 jobs at a time, you need to put food on the table and you need to do it quick and fast. Just go for the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, the fast food, the Chick-fil-A's, and that's not necessarily healthy, right? And then when we look back into history, if we go all the way back into history, there was not food always promised on the table for you. So a lot of people in the Caribbean, a lot of people who are Hispanic cultures, Caribbean cultures, and the Black culture have a scarcity mindset. So when I say that, I mean like you had to eat all the food that was on your plate. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but like in my household, you had to eat everything that was on the plate because food was not always promised, and that scarcity mindset is passed down through generations and generations. So our relationship with food is very misguided in a sense of overeating is normalized and overconsumption of food is normalized, which tends to lead to obesity when you are not able to regulate that food intake. Hello guys, I'm here with Kimberly Pierre, my mommy, and we're gonna be answering another question. So your question is, have you ever heard of a food desert, and what do you think it means, and where do you think we can find them?
Yes, I've heard of food deserts. As far as I know, food deserts are locations that don't have any grocery stores and fresh food.
Yeah. Where do you think you can find them most?
We typically see them, at least from what I know, that they're typically in locations that would be considered like the hood or the ghetto, where there's people who their socioeconomic demographic puts them at like below poverty level.
Why is it important to know what they are?
It's important to know what they are so that they be identifiable by like our local government and state government, so that something could be done about them. So whether it's legislature, whether it's getting maybe a food chain or like a Publix of the world or an Aldi's into these particular areas to serve the constituents.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so like Kimberly said in the last clip, yes, Kimberly, this is the only time I get to call her Kimberly, okay? We don't let me have this. So like Kimberly said in the last clip, that is exactly the definition of a food desert. It's a place where it's not a lot of nutritious items served, a lot of Publixes, there's not a lot of Aldi's, not a lot of places that serve fresh food that is healthy and nourishing to the body. There's a lot of McDonald's, a lot of fast food chains everywhere, but the grocery stores are like hours and hours out from that area, which is why it gets its name, food desert. And we find that these food deserts tend to be in areas where low economic status people are residing. So like everyone in this video has been saying, if you include all those factors into what we're talking about right now, it's hard to come by fresh food and fresh fruit to nourish your body. It's easy to come by. It's easy to stop and get something real quick. It's easier to just stop here instead of going to the Publix or the grocery store 30 to 45 minutes out to try and get food, which also costs a lot of money to make it, which also takes time, and that's something that a lot of people don't have. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. In the next clip, we're going to be having elimination from my team. Thank you to everyone. Hope you guys liked the video. See y'all later. Bye.